First at 6, a live look from PDX as the Real ID deadline takes effect. What you need to know before you head to the airport if you still don't have that ID.
Also today, cardinals from all over the world will start the voting process to decide the next pope. We'll have a live report from Vatican City coming up here at 6:30.
Plus, local inmates to save a hiker's life in the Coast Range.
You know, we're not bad people, and just to get the opportunity to show that we're not, to show that we have good within us, it's amazing.
Their story of redemption as your 6 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Wednesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. What do you say we check in with Rodney Hill and Christopher McGinnis as well? There they are talking about weather and traffic.
Yeah, we have changes today. Good morning, everybody. Yesterday, all that sunshine and the warming weather, we did make it to 85 by 1 degree, the warmest of the year so far out at PDX. Well, there's a weak cool front trying to march inland this morning. You can see it's pushing some rain inland with it. So far, everything has been light and generally fading before it gets out of the Coast Range. But Grand Ron, you've had a touch of rain. Sheridan, you're starting to get a touch of rain right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. It is cloudy in Lincoln City, our Schnookwinds Casino Resort camera. Ongoing chance of some shower activity. Here are the clouds coming in from the west out over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. PDX is at 55, partly cloudy over downtown. We think mainly dry this morning, 65 at noon. Later today, the shower chance for some of us to get some rain, but probably not all, is a possibility. All right, Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Photojournalist Eric Patterson manning the wheel of Drive 8. He's headed south towards the Markham Bridge on I-5, and you can see traffic is still rolling along fine on that side of town. I-5 through Tualatin looks good. A little bit of bright sunshine out there, right? And I-5 through North Portland, that looks good as well. 2 trouble spots I want to tell you about. One down in the Brooks area. ODOT now reporting some debris on the road on 99E. Near Wakanda Road. Obviously, still fairly light with the volume out there, but be on the lookout for the response. And out in Skamania County, SR 14, there's a crash westbound near Hot Springs Avenue, and it looks like on our traffic map anyway, some light slowing showing up in and around that crash on SR 14. Guys, we'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this morning, today is that deadline, and it's been a long time coming. You officially need a Real ID to get on a plane.
So how is day one of Real ID enforcement impacting people's trip to the airport this morning? Sunrise reporter Ashley Grams is handling that angle for us live at the airport. Ashley, it seems like things are going pretty smoothly over there.
Yeah, a long time coming for this day is right. 2 decades in the making. Now we're here. The good news is there's still a grace period. Things seem to be running as normal here at PDX, though it might take you just a little bit longer to get through security if you don't have that Real ID. I did check in with TSA. They say there's no separate line or anything like that for folks who don't have the Real ID. It might take you an extra second or an extra step when you get up to talk to that TSA officer when you get screened. Though TSA says most people already have what they need, estimating that more than 80% of passengers already use Real ID or other acceptable documents.
2003 is when they started talking, and then 5 is when they actually did it, and here we are.
I felt like I was ahead of the game. You know, I felt bad for people who like, what? Real ID? I don't know what that is. I'm like, you better.
Now, there are several other IDs that are considered Real ID compliant. Some TSA-approved options are a passport card, traveler card, enhanced driver's license, or military ID. And of course, you can still get that Real ID. A lot of people are doing that. They're heading to the DMV. We checked in with the Oregon DMV. They say traffic is at an all-time high at a lot of their offices across the state. Just last week, 13,000 people made Real ID appointments. Guys?
Ashley Graham's reporting live for us for PDX. And yeah, what she was talking about, the traffic at many of their locations, DMVs across the state, very up. Last week, there were over 13,000 Real ID appointments scheduled. As for walk-ins, expect a lot. We've seen Oregonians waiting for several hours at DMV offices over the past month, and this week wasn't any different.
The wait sucks if you don't have an appointment.
Well, you know, I thought I had it, and then I looked at my ID when I was getting ready to book my flight for Vegas, and then I just saw that it needed that little circle on the side with that star, and I'm like, dang it, I gotta get it.
As for Washington, an enhanced driver's license is compliant. The DOL tells us that almost 93,000 people got an enhanced driver's license or ID in April. They say that's the most ever in a single month. And we have even more Real ID information up right now on KGW Plus, so just text Real ID to the number you see there on your screen, 503-226-5088. We'll text you back a link with more details on who needs a Real ID and how to get one. And the fun doesn't stop here, people. Starting at 9 o'clock this morning on KGW Plus, our Ashley Grams, who you just heard from, will be live alongside teams from across the Northwest. So again, you can watch that live stream starting at 9 o'clock this morning on our free TV app, KGW Plus.
The SalemKaiser School District released its budget for next year. It's a $1 billion budget, but school leaders say they're still not getting enough funding from the state. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is covering this story for us in the KGW newsroom. So Thomas, the ask for more money has been going on in this district for years.
Yeah, for years in that district, Drew, and really across the state. Now in Salem, it's a big reason Superintendent Andrea Castaneda says they had to slash more than $70 million last year. Though this time around, SalemKaiser did not need to make any budget reductions. Still, she says there's plenty of questions around funding remaining. SalemKaiser leaders say there's uncertainty around federal funding and the impact that could have on school districts. The Oregon legislature also hasn't finalized funding levels for this school year in its biennium either. And Castaneda adds that despite the recent uptick in state funding for schools, it's just not keeping up with their needs. In a statement, she says, in part, public schools are expected to identify and address a staggering array of youth and family needs, such as medical care, solutions for food and housing insecurity, mental and behavioral health services, and more. Some of those more are things like laundry services. She adds that while we are deeply grateful for an increase in state revenue, the growth of our expenses still significantly outpaces the state revenue increase. Now, this budget proposal still needs to be finalized by the District Board of Directors, though that's expected to happen in about a month on June 10th. Drew?
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning there in the newsroom. Meanwhile, Portland City Council will hold its first work session today to address Mayor Keith Wilson's budget proposal. The mayor is calling for an $8.5 billion budget, and to get to that number, he's proposing cuts to nearly 200 city positions. He also wants to raise fees for parking, rideshare, and some utilities. And he says he wants to invest an additional $19 million in public safety, including fire, police, and Portland street response. His proposal comes as the city faces a $93 million shortfall.
New this morning, a new report is raising concerns about fire safety at the Cherry Blossom townhomes in southeast Portland. So the city's ombudsman launched an investigation after a homeowner complained in 2024 and found that the Fire Bureau didn't properly document decisions during the building plan process. Investigators also say residents are parking on sidewalks and part of the access road, which could block emergency vehicles. While fire officials say that they can still respond safely, homeowners are still concerned. The ombudsman recommends that the Fire Bureau explain its response plan in writing and hold community meeting to answer any questions.
Another birthday celebration to tell you about at the Oregon Zoo. How about Maple the beaver, turning 9 on Tuesday. To celebrate her birthday yesterday, Maple took a swim and was then treated to a big old carrot. Maple arrived at the Oregon Zoo when she was 3 years old. There's another beaver there at the zoo with Maple named Filbert, and because the two of them are so good working with wood, they have earned the name Branch Managers. That's a cute little nickname for cute little Maple.
Branch Managers.
And her buddy Filbert.
I get it, China, by the way, Branch. Do you get it, Branch?
We're going back to this again? Are we reliving the last hour, Rod?
I didn't think I got that back in the last hour, but I was more clever than she gave me credit for. Here's a look at our radar this morning. Cool front marching inland, and it is producing some rain. We had a band of showers along the coast earlier, and as that cool wave is starting to push inland, most of the shower activity right now is light in green over the coast range. There's Banks, and there's Forest Grove, and there's Gaston. Maybe you get some at least sprinkles out of this in the coming 20 minutes or so. You can see the clouds. This is the western view from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. Temperatures are really mild because we were in the 80s, remember yesterday, 85 in Portland, in fact. So it's still 55 degrees out this morning, very mild indeed. This camera, of course, looking off to the east, you can see the rising sun from the Chehalem Tasting Room out in Sherwood. Beautiful morning with the cloud layering. 49 is the temperature out that direction. Here are the other numbers. Winds generally are light this morning. We expect northwest breezes to pick up and at least start blowing the flags around this afternoon. 48 in Camas, 49 in Tigard right now. Westland, good morning. You're at 51. Kaiser also at 51. Corvallis, one of the cooler spots, 43. Speaking of beavers, this morning on the news. All right, our forecast map for today. We still get up to about 70 or so in Portland. The best chance of rain showers here in the North Valley is expected to set up later today into this evening. This looks to be a case. Some of us will get some rain, many will not. And if you get some rain, you'll be doing well to get more than a trace. So chance of a scattered shower later today out over the Blues. Otherwise, all dry out east and dry in Central Oregon. 72 today, back to sunshine tomorrow after today's mixed bag of cloudiness. Could hit 80 on Friday. Saturday's dry. Growing confidence again this morning that we will see increasing showers on Mother's Day with a high of 65 and some decent soaking rainfall potential for Sunday overnight and Monday. And that is your forecast.